Okay, this week the assignment is basically to review what we've already learned because we're going to get in depth in the next few days. This is such an important piece of your rewiring of your brain that it's worth reviewing today. And also, I felt like you might need a break because it's a lot of information. And hopefully, you've completed your temperament assessment and met with me over the phone, and we've gone over that in depth because that's something that we're going to be getting into in the next few days, the next 3 days, really, 3 or 4 days. So, what I want to review now is your temperament assessment, not yours in particular, but the overview of temperament as it relates to the process of God restoring human identity. Okay, so the chart or the graph on your left is something that you've seen before in your assignment yesterday, and the chart on the right is something new. So I just kind of want to go over this, do an overview, get this in your brain a little bit more so that the next few days will make a lot of sense to you. So let's look at the left again, the process of restoring human identity. We went over this the past few days, or at least yesterday. So you've got the inner needs on your left, and then you've got the areas of restoring human identity going across, starting with sense of belonging, affection, and strength. Okay, so we know that the Father is the one of the Trinity that is going to restore your sense of belonging. The Son, or Christ, is the one that's going to restore your affection area, and then the Holy Spirit is the one that's going to restore your strength. So let's look over to the chart on the right. And this is your temperament, not yours in particular, but what temperament means. And remember, when you took your temperament assessment, it assessed each of these areas: inclusion, affection, and control. And these relate exactly to sense of belonging, affection, and strength. So inclusion is sense of belonging, affection, obviously affection, and control is strength. So under inclusion in the temperament category, this refers to our social orientation and our intellectual energies. And again, this is where the cognitive lies, where our self-image, what we think about ourselves. This is where all this lies. It's also where your introvert or extrovert tendencies lie. But that goes back to your sense of belonging, okay? And God made you uniquely one way or the other, or a combination of two. So you're either an introvert, extrovert, or some kind of combination. And you're either more task oriented or less task oriented, or maybe you're right in the middle where you're kind of both task oriented and people oriented. Okay, affection is the need to express and receive love, affection, and approval. And obviously, this is the emotional area to be restored, or where our self esteem lies. And then under control, this is our willingness to make decisions and to accept responsibility for self or for others. And remember, in this category, if you've talked to me about your temperament, if we've gone over that, we've talked about your need to control others. It might be high, it might be low, it might be in the middle, and your need for others to control you might be high, might be low, might be in the middle. But these are really important. So let me give you an example. And I'll give you an example actually from my life. So I have, under my temperament for affection, I have a very low need to express and receive love, affection, and approval. So not only do I have a low need to express it, I have a low need to receive it. So this worked out really good for me growing up because my father had the same he scored, well, I've never done a temperament assessment on, but if I did, I would think he would score the same way I do in affection. So he had a low need to express it. Well, that worked out good for me because I had a low need to receive it. And so, if I had had a high need to receive love, affection, and approval, and had a father who had a low need to give it, then there might have been an issue. And this is what happens in life. We don't get to choose our parents and their temperaments, and they don't get to choose us and our temperaments. So this is where there can be a kind of a conflict or a struggle or some kind of a friction, this incompatibility. But this is also true of us in our relationships, whether they're just personal relationships or friendships or people we work with or romantic relationships. It's important to know your temperament because that's going to affect how you are interacting and responding to the relationships in your life. So for many of you, if you have been in a relationship with someone or are in a relationship with someone who's a narcissist, the narcissist has a huge need to control other people and circumstances and surroundings. They probably score in the compulsive category for control on their temperament assessment. So if you are paired with them, chances are you have a low need to control others, but you might have a high need to be controlled or to have, and that's not a negative thing. It just means you accept leadership in your life. And we need leaders and we need followers, or we wouldn't get anything done in this world. So if that's the case for you, and a lot of times it is, for people who are in relationships with narcissists, it's okay. God made you that way. But knowing this about yourself, knowing that you would rather be under the leadership of someone and you like it, you feel more comfortable that way, is an important fact to know about yourself. And it's also something that a narcissist is going to be attracted to. So you want to make sure that in future relationships, you're able to still be true to who you are, but set boundaries around that. So this is one of the reasons why I keep going back to, we're not keep going back, but we're going to really get in depth on this subject. There's a lot of information here and there's a lot to digest. So I don't really have any particular activity that you need to do today, except I would look at, as you're watching this video, I would look at your temperament, look at this process of restoring human identity, and I would repeat the activity that you did yesterday where you asked God to reveal to you which of these areas is he really honing in on for you. Is there one particular area that God's trying to reveal to you and heal you in? Which area is he really trying to restore in your life? And remember, if you're struggling with understanding or relating to, might be a better word, if you're struggling to relate to the Father, or if you're struggling to relate to the Holy Spirit, or if you're struggling to relate to Christ, this could be an indication of where you're actually struggling, which area needs the most restoration, okay? So take a good look at this. If you haven't already met with me to go over your temperament assessment, go ahead and do your assessment. It won't take you long, I promise. You can do it really quickly, and then let me know that you're done, and we'll go over that over the phone, because in the next few days, we're going to get into each one of these areas more and more in depth, so we can start rewiring your brain the biblical way so that you can really start to heal and move forward. All right, see you soon.